For men and women coming out of prison every year, one of the first steps to re-entering society can be one of the most difficult, simply getting a valid ID. William Brangham examines the many hurdles returning citizens face trying to rebuild their identification. This story is part of our ongoing series, Searching for Justice.
After 27 years behind bars for armed robbery, in September, Kenneth Taylor became a free man. Free from jail, yes, but stuck in limbo.
I feel invisible, I do.
Why? Because Taylor left a Louisiana prison without any form of valid identification. No social security card, no birth certificate, no way to prove who he actually was.
It's crazy. Nobody know I exist right now.
I remember this picture vividly.
He's been out for more than 4 months like this. His son, Ken Mackey, and lawyers at a local New Orleans nonprofit are still helping him piece his life back together, one document at a time.
It's been just obstacle after obstacle trying to, get his ID, his social security card, and birth certificate.
They've been in frequent contact with Louisiana's Department of Corrections trying to get this fixed.
They attempted to send me a birth certificate and a social security card, which was totally not me.
They sent you identifications that they thought were supposed to be yours and they were not yours?
They were not mine.
Taylor later received his actual birth certificate. That'll help, but he still doesn't have a social security card. That means he can't apply for many jobs or social services like food assistance. And in Louisiana, you can actually be arrested for not being able to provide proof of identity.
My biggest fear is being stopped by the police department and brought to jail because I don't have ID.
Not having an ID is a problem that thousands of people face every year re-entering society. And during the pandemic, it's only gotten worse, according to Martin Horn. He used to be the head of corrections for both New York City and the state of Pennsylvania.
The offices are closed. Even the people who might be able to assist them in prison are often either absent because they're ill or working remotely. Not to mention the fact that prisoners, by and large, do not have easy access to the kinds of internet connections that would be necessary.
And without identification, Horn says it's impossible to reintegrate into society.
Getting out of prison or jail, the most crucial element to success is being able to support yourself. And without the documents, you can't support yourself, you can't get a job.
You have your passport, birth certificate, social, and 2 proofs of address.
Just navigating the bureaucracy can be overwhelming.
2 proofs of address. Well, I had 1 proof of address and my birth certificate and my social security card.
We're still missing 1 more proof because we don't have anything on file for you.
Marlon Jackson just got out of prison a few weeks ago. He served 24 years for robbery and sexual battery.
The only thing they gave me upon my release was this right here. That's it. They gave me no other form of ID, nothing.
He's at a mobile DMV office in Richmond, Virginia, trying to prove he's who he says he is and to get a legitimate legal ID.
We won't be able to take this because this is an original document that we can
The problem is, the only document he received upon leaving prison had the wrong social security number on it.
This is not sufficient because I need a primary proof of address.
Sarah Scarborough is the founder of a nonprofit called Real Life. They organized this makeshift DMV because of the massive backlog created by the pandemic.
So if our folks got out of jail, they would have to wait for about 5 months to be able to get an appointment at DMV to get an ID, which means 5 months until they can get a job, 5 months until they can find a place to live and, sign a rental agreement or anything.
After more than an hour of waiting and pleading, it looked like Jackson would be turned away. It seems he needed more evidence of his housing.
But you probably won't be able to get that today because we're only here till 11:30.
This moment right now is big, it's important, it's imperative. So if I don't receive an ID today, which I don't know, maybe I got 15 or 20 more minutes to get it, and hopefully I will.
But otherwise, you might have to be waiting 3 or 4 months.
Otherwise, I'd be waiting 90 to 120 days.
But at the last minute, with Scarborough and her colleagues' help, Jackson got his ID.
Go to the left a bit. There we go.
This is a start of something beautiful. It is a start, just a picture saying, hey, This is Marlin. This is where I live at. But it'll unlock one door.
This piece of paper is going to be crucial.
The last hurdle, though, for many formerly incarcerated people is what's considered the gold standard ID, a driver's license.
Wow, I can't believe it. I could drive.
Anthony Gomez was released from prison in September after doing 23 years for a murder he committed when he was 17. He's just passed the Virginia driver's test after waiting weeks to get a DMV appointment.
You can get a DMV appointment to save your life.
Since his release, he's found a job as a paralegal, working with a lawyer he met while he was behind bars. He's now living with his mom outside of Richmond. He's hoping to also get some construction work, but he can't take a job that he can't get to.
You know, with those type of jobs, you have to move around. You know, you have to get from point A to point B, and then when that job is done, you have to get over here, and you can't be dependent on the people that's hiring you, you know, to come pick you up and then take you, you know.
Right.
It's now,
And I can tell from where you live, it's not like there's a bus or a subway at the corner.
Yeah. For that reason alone, like, I really want my license, because I feel like, okay, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be getting in a car and disappearing every day. But I think just the thought that if I want to go somewhere, I don't have to be dependent on someone, you know, that's part of the freedom, you know.
Kenneth Taylor is still searching for that freedom. He found work as a personal trainer at a New Orleans boxing gym, but he remains frustrated that the Department of Corrections released him with no real way to start over.
You knew who I was when you sentenced me. So you kept me there 27 and a half years. You kept me there knowing who I was, right? And then you sent me out there like you don't never know who I was.
We reached out to Louisiana's Department of Corrections for comment on Taylor's case. A spokesman responded saying, quote, "Despite the pandemic, last year, 96.7% of inmates who were released from Louisiana's state institutions walked out of prison with at least 2 forms of identification. Cases like Mr. Taylor's are the exception and not the rule." Generally speaking, do prisons and prison officials help people returning to society get those documents ahead of time?
Some more than others. I think there are very few that actually invest time, effort, and money in providing assistance in doing that, because there is a cost to providing that assistance, but the cost of them being unemployed, the cost of them being homeless and in need of shelter, the cost of their admission to the emergency room, or the cost of a new crime and their re-imprisonment is going to be far greater than whatever we spend to facilitate their success.
Kenneth Taylor says he can't fully start a new life until he can prove his old one existed.
Oh, it's like a ball and chain, like type deal. Like I'm still connected to the prison, and I don't want to be connected to the prison system ever. I'm trying to chop the chain off, you know, where I can move where I want to move and freely, and don't live in and be scared of anything.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham.
You know, I don't want